Last time, Master Ng introduced us to some of the core principles of his combat training system. Now, he will show us how to use them.
我哋練力嗰陣時咧，因為呢個首先我哋要練習咧要清晰，因為如果我哋個目標係點樣去練個力咧，咁嗰個架構咧，嗰個架構嘅睇法咧，就係非常之重要。
Okay, so when we train, we have to know what we're trying to do. So for this exercise is to build up power. So the structure has to be efficient in helping you train your power, as opposed to say moving yourself. So first is stance for the structure.
OK， 咁我哋將兩隻腳咧打開嚟咧，我哋兩個腳咧企喺我哋嘅肩膊上。
So the feet should be at the shoulder level.
Yep.
The toes should be pointing forward, and then if you're using your right hand, you put your right foot forward.
係嗱，踏前踏幾多咧？踏前踏幾多咧？就係話喺我哋隻腳趾前邊呢度有條線喺度，我哋嘅腳踭喺呢條線，即係話喺後邊嘅腳趾嗰度線。
So the heel should be at the line of the back toes.
企喺度咧就係話咧，嗱，我哋呢個馬咧叫三角馬。
So this is called a triangular stance.
點解叫三角馬咧？而家我哋嘅身體嘅重心咧，就係佢喺兩個腳喺佢中間，你身體嘅重心。
So your balance is right in the middle. Yeah, that's why he calls it a triangle stance.
好，兩個膝頭哥咧，就唔好你嘅身體咧要有起直嘅感覺，即係硬起嚟。
It's important for this stance that you're not sinking down, but you're pushing up from the lower position. So it's because he wants the power to come up.
如果你嘅膝頭哥咧，你尾曲，你伸直先，喺佢伸直先。
Okay, so try this. Straighten your knees.
如果我哋嘅膝頭哥關節伸直咧，就發唔到力。
If they're straight, you can't generate power.
Yeah.
咁咧，我哋就會將個膝頭哥咧嘅關節咧微微地曲。
So bend it slightly.
我哋嗰個感覺咧仍然係升起嘅。
So even though you bend, the feeling has to be like you're pushing up because you want the power to come up.
Yeah.
咁咧，如果你試下曲多啲，你會發現一個臨界點咧，你會係跌低嘅。
Okay, so if you test yourself and you go lower or higher, you'll find so there's a range
down.
where you start going downward and up.
And then 佢隻腳咧，個力咧就唔可以發揮整體力啊，由個地下傳上。
So when you reach that point, you end up not being able to push up.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find a point where you're strong and pushing up, as opposed to sinking down because he wants the power to come up. So part of the test of this structure is to lower yourself a bit, come up a bit, so you know where the range is. Yeah, so you'll find it.
叫佢而家保持呢個企喺度，咁佢向前跑。
Okay, keep the stance and push forward.
Pushing from
佢隻腳硬住，咁你隻腳咧唔係用個身體，唔係用個身體進上前。
Oh, okay. He says don't lean with your body, push from your feet.
Let you feel it coming from your legs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Why not that? Not your body. Just test
Yeah.
the power coming from your back leg. OK。然後呢個吸氣攔住對方，又係撐住。
Breathe in, but this time push because you're trying to resist the guy.
因為向前啊嘛。
Yeah, because you're pushing.
咁呢個咧都係撐住。
This one you're pushing up as well.
頂住對方唔俾對方入，咁啊你要撐住。
Because he's going to push you, and then you're going to resist.
Okay.
咁呢度啦，明白啦嗱，吸氣，即係得一個動作係找住嘅啫。
So only one motion is that.
就係呢個動作。
Crossing.
其實我哋係全身鍛鍊嘅，因為呢度冇喐。
Yeah, even though we're doing Thai Sao in the hands, we're training the whole body.
Yeah. Yeah.
講一講先啦，我以前學嗰陣時咧，我哋係咁樣揸。
So a long time ago, he started with this fist before.
Yeah.
姜牙錘，姜牙錘。咁佢姜牙錘咧，就係將道力咧引喺個踭嘅底下。
So this focuses the power onto here.
如果你揸個平拳咧，
If you hold a flat one,
喺呢度。
It's from the middle.
yeah.
OK。咁咧，我哋以前咧就係喺個手腕後邊嘅。
The old way of doing it, you put it at the wrist.
Right.
我初一年嗰陣時，咁好啦。手腕後邊咧就係我哋咧，如果而家我哋咁樣用咧，呢個係我之後改嘅。之後用咧，我哋用個拳骨呢一度掌地
So now he's focused on this
The back of the hand.
back of the hand because
同埋咧，如果我哋嘅手咧，我哋喺呢個掌掂住咧，咁嗰啲力咧，如果要出到嚟咧，一定經過個手腕。如果你手腕冇力咧，你就做唔到啊。
So this trains the wrist as well.
Yeah,
Because if you focused on this before, you'll never train the wrist.
Yeah.
But if your power has to pass through the wrist to get to here. So this way of doing it, you can also power up the wrist power.
咁我哋一環咧就係話咧，我哋兩個力叫佢挨住我，我挨住佢。
So push against him first.
然後咧我就出去，我懟前佢。
So he's going through the motions with you.
然後佢就移過嚟，啊，no power， cut，
Yeah, keep it straight.
Keeping the elbows.
Not the wrist straight.
keep its angle, just do this。
Okay.
咁我哋咧點解個動作我哋要找上嚟咧？找上嚟嗰陣時咧就係呢個力量去上嚟，咁呢個力量落去咧就將我哋咁樣貼住。
So this is the Qigong part.
Right.
The reason we clench at the same time as we do this is because this way we focus the power from the bottom up to the body.
Yeah.
And then when you use this, you focus power from the body down to the here.
Yeah.
And so you're
Everything's beating.
Yeah, everything's beating and then you're training.
咁我哋喺個過程咧個力咧黐住交流嘅時候咧，我哋就會練習埋咩咧？我哋感應啊，
So through this interaction, you could also train a bit of
感
sensitivity.
應到對方個力點樣出發，
So you give as much power
佢
as you
鬆
can.
啊定緊啦，咁啊對於
Or
我
if
哋
it's loose or if it's tight.
我哋去打鬥嗰陣時咧就有幫助。
So it'll eventually help later.
Try. Practice one time. 知道點樣喐之後咧，
So now you know how to
咁
move.
你就要我做呢個動作，你嘅對方就要俾壓力攔住我，
So you have
唔
to
好俾
try
我
stop him using the same movements. Yeah. And then try stopping him from moving
你
forward.
用
Same.
影住我，一路影住我手，嗰嘢。
Yeah, try taking across. Try taking across. Try
但係練習嗰陣時咧，
Try again. Yeah. But when you're practicing, you
Yeah.
shouldn't stop the guy.
Yeah.
But now he's
This
just
is
doing
just
it with
like
the camera.
testing, testing the strength.
如果我
Yeah.
練習嗰陣時咧，我就係點嘅咧？我憑我個感覺，因為每兩個一樣噶嘛，有一個強嗰個弱嘅。咁你弱嗰個咧，你可以繼續練，因為點解我要出力咧？我出力咧就係逼佢出力，咁佢先至練到出嚟嘅。
So when you train against a person who's stronger or weaker, and there's a difference. The person who's not as strong has to use all the power.
Yeah.
And the stronger guy has to use, say, like 10% more.
Yeah.
So that he guides you and makes you bring your
我
power.
就係
Yeah.
我就係練緊嗰個感應咧，我咧就係控制住我力度放幾多咧，嚟啱俾佢喐到。
So both people benefit.
我控制緊我力，我就
Yeah.
練緊一 part。
So he's training his sensitivity and how much power to control.
Yeah.
And you're training your glute power. This means which power.
It's such a different body
Yeah.
shape to what I'm used to,
Yeah.
which is hard.
Yeah, sorry.
一路
It's
一
interesting.
路咁樣落
Mm.
咁樣手。
But if you view it as a power developing tool, like say
feel
even a bench press, right? There's strict form
Yeah.
for it to be effective. So it's the same as this. We're trying to keep strict form so we can build power.
Just forward. Stop. Stop. Keep your back.
Get out of the screen so you
Stop.
get some just in the
Down. Half set.
With both hands. It's going to be the same. Still the same, one hand or two hands.
Ah, that's right.
Now you try stop.
因為我手要前咁樣
So now he's pushing it to his fingertips.
Yeah.
That's rock solid.
好實淨。
Maybe we should see the guys who know the style, see the
咁咧，
difference.
你嘅手咧，呢個力咧就係頭先咧，
There's no difference.
一定係要慢嘅，
no difference.
配合個呼吸嘅，配合個呼吸嘅。咁咧，你話俾佢聽，我唔係打佢
He's not hitting you. Don't
嚇，俾佢感受下嗰個力咧。頭先我哋講到話1對10嗰啲啊嘛。
He says from 0 to 10. He's even.
好啦，咁我而家呢度好近，好叫佢其實掂住佢，我唔拉後，
He's not pulling back, so
He's touching you.
因為我哋佢有個力量咧，去擁埋佢嘅。
so he wants power all to go forward.
Yeah, don't go into the wall.
Yeah.
企好啲，你企好啲
It's
係
not
啦
be too high. He's gonna go like.
有擁埋佢嘅。咁咧，佢咧一陣咧叫佢咧，你自己唔好俾佢，唔好俾佢擁我咁啊！呢個力咧110咧，我點樣滲透入去嗰個力咧？你睇，我唔係打佢，
He's not hitting
我俾你感覺下
He's just
啲力
slowly
咧
putting a bit more power in.
走入去入邊，
Yeah.
就同你 hit 係唔同嘅，
So it's not just hitting.
喺入邊。
Strike versus.
係啊，
You swap just in time.
咁咧呢個咧你係咧就係話咧，我哋隻手，我哋手擺前咧可以快。如果我咁樣去快。
So the mantis guard is like this. So if he pulls back to punch, it's a bit slower, but he could punch and wait.
如果佢要佢對方佢要打我，佢唔可以離遠咁打我噶嘛，係咪？如果佢埋嚟，佢咁你先至打到我噶嘛。
Yeah. So in order to hit him, you have to get close to him, right? Yeah.
即係話咧，我手喺前邊噶嘛，
So he puts his hands up here, so he's closer to you.
但係我唔係等佢打我嘅。
He's not waiting for you to hit him.
總之咧，佢嚟到呢度個近距離，佢由呢度嘣一聲咁快，即係講個理論咧就係話咧，如果兩個人嘅速度係一樣嘅，
Yeah.
兩個人嘅反應係一樣嘅，咁就係嗰個距離嚟斷定佢快慢噶嘛。
So he's stealing a bit of time with distance. Yeah.
好啦，咁如果我哋兩隻手咁啊擺前嘅，咁佢打唔到我噶嘛。當佢一接近我嗰陣時，砰，我已經打你嘅。即係佢一接近咧，我係唔會等佢出拳嘅，我係主動咁嘅，主動咧，我隻腳一喐咧，咁已經打佢啦。
The moment you move in, he's gonna hit you. And because his hands are out here, it's easy.
啊，
And
所
he
以
can generate that
你嘅
type
手
of power, right?
但係咧關鍵就係咧，我哋攞手出去咧，伸隻手出去咧，我哋要能夠喺呢度咁嘅咁樣用到。
But the key is to be able to generate power from that distance. Yeah.
咁咧，我哋就係要練呢個猜手
That
啲嚟嘅。
you gain through Chai Sao. So he says when you use it against somebody, it's very subjective. So you say you're going to do this, I say I'm going to do this, everybody makes sense. But it doesn't work most of the time. If he just punches you before contact, then you just hit him at the same time.
咁我哋做法咧就係話，首先咧，無論你嘅手點樣排，我哋有啲方法咧，我就係假設佢而家係咁樣嘅，隻手
So
係
it
咁
doesn't
樣嘅。
matter how you put your hands, he has some ways to close the guard.
我首先咧就係要揾方法咧攔截咗佢手先，
So he has to intercept your hands. Yeah.
攔截佢手咧，然後假設佢嘅手如果咁喺一個動作，如果我攔住佢，咁佢我掂佢隻手咧，呢度咧，佢咪出唔到拳咯。但係唔好掂一隻喎。
So he wants to seal both hands.
我咧一攔佢嗰陣時，我係會進逼佢。
So when he intercepts, he enters.
唔俾佢轉手，得嘅。咁呢度咁啊！我唔係話，你諗下，如果一啲動作咁快嘅，聽咁樣落去，你邊有時間話咁又咁又咁
So he says in movement things are really fast, right? There's no time for you to go this, and that. Yeah,
係
so
用唔到嘅。
it's impossible. So he does one.
攔截佢咧就係話，4個方向嘅啫，即係由外邊嚟，
So there are only 4 directions.
由外邊嚟，
Out to in,
由入邊去。
from in to out.
咁喺入邊去咧，我哋做呢啲動作咧，一定咧唔能夠喺出邊咁樣淨係咁樣嘅。
So when you enter, you can't just flap around on the outside.
隻腳咧一定要喐，
Your feet
一
have to
定要
move.
逼向前。如果我喺度喐，咁佢嘅手會轉，會周圍走。
So if he doesn't enter,
我一喐去咧，我就踩，我就咁樣入嚟，
if he enters, then you can't come
我就
back.
逼埋你，令到你唔能夠企喺度，
Yeah, but if he enters, then he has to make sure you lose balance as he hits you.
我就可以喺度喺呢度咁，我手頂住，
Yeah,
我
so,
手頂住。
so you can have a frame and hit at the same time because
啊
of power.
佢已經唔可以轉手啦，我一逼，咁因為企穩啦，咁樣打你啊！我隻手打你咧，我唔會話，咁樣打你。如果咁樣打你親直拳咧，咁佢咪即刻甩手咯。
Yeah, so if
我
he
係
doesn't,
我係逼住佢咁樣打，呢個用個勾拳打呢個。
so he frames you and then hits from the frame. So he doesn't go.
咁咧，我哋就係話咧，一定咧就係盡量咧，我睇個位置咧，我就係會好主動攻擊你。
So depending on how you're standing, so just hit you.
其實就係你呢個係一個一定要主動咧，唔好俾對方牽引。
So the idea is to be proactive and not let the guy lead the way when you fight.
如果佢假設我想哇一喐佢喎，啊佢知道喎，佢即刻喐嗱。首先我已經喺上邊落啦，佢冇法子喺度出拳啦。
He says, okay, see, even if he does that and you start reacting, so you move back or something, he's sealed off the top.
佢可能咧即刻褪後。
So you might step back.
嗱，我攞嚟係咪？咁係咪？好啦，嗱，呢個情形之下咧，我就可以直接攻擊。
So in this situation, he's created the opening for a direct attack
因為你係喺同一時間準備嘅狀態之下，
because you're preparing for something else, right? Too busy stepping back. Yeah.
因為大家未出手之前咧係公平嘅，你可以出，我可以出，係咪
Because？ before we start, you're equal, right? You could strike, you could strike.
但係如果我攞個位置一幫佢嗰陣時咧，咁佢呢度咧，如果佢要變都好咧，佢要離開我，一縮啦，佢或者佢一褪嘅。
So when he starts like this, and say you move, right?
啊，而家好啦，嗱，當我喐呢時候，佢依下一褪嗰陣時候咧，我就可以直接攻佢，因為佢褪。
Oh, because as you're he'll hit you as you're moving. So he does something. I asked him if it was a feint. He says it's not a feint. I'm really trying to do something. Yeah. But he reacts to my real move, so I do something else.
因為佢
setup.
Yeah, so like I said.
因為佢做呢個動作咧，佢俾我牽引住啊。
Because he started, then you're being guided by him.
Yeah, it's initiative.
Yeah, he has initiative.
跟住我
Kind of sound like kind of the three pillars of style. Being able to take it, and then intercepting, and then
Give the hit too.
everything happening in a short distance. So training the short power to even in conditioning, he's not going to do this. He has to train his power. He has to train his power at the same time. So it's 攻擊嗰個人得唔會話咁打咁樣。如果係練翻我哋。
俾人打嗰個係你做指揮嘅，我叫你用幾多你用幾多。
So, but for these kind of things, it's like I'm the one in control. I'm going to tell him, feed me more power, feed me more right, or feed me less, because that's too heavy. So all kind of based on sensitivity, so you learn that, and also control. So every time he hits, I have to, and not racing myself the entire time. So I have to train my own mechanics. So the system has the body conditioning and then the short power. But the short power is part of intercepting and striking.
你問下佢哋頭先係咪用咗
Did you guys use full strength before? Yeah.
full power？
Full power.
full power。
I think he's not impressed.
Just making sure.
Damien and I came away strongly impressed. Master Ng had a very methodical approach to martial arts training and some of the best iron body skills I have ever encountered.
Tough. He's tough. Yeah, wow.
It's no wonder he has students all over the world.
通常練嗰陣時咧，我唔盡量唔俾佢哋自己練，唔俾學生自己咁樣練，驚佢練傷。我係咧，我個認為佢得咧，我睇住佢咧，我帶領住佢教佢點樣做。
So actually he won't he doesn't promote his students actually practicing this stuff on their own in the beginning. So he has to supervise and make sure that I think you're ready to do this.
It's too easy to get egotistical and want to
That's
go
right,
too hard.
but it is. So I mean, it carries over into a lot of other partnered exercises for us to just start wailing on each other. But you have to be aware we're not fighting, we're training.
I learned from a lot of teachers, but he's my first Chow Gar Mantis teacher from a long while ago, and that's that. And he isn't his direct student. He's learned from his kung fu brother, and he's also perfectly fine with people learning with a lot of teachers. But he has to also respect the other teachers that the students learn from, and he has to respect his old teacher as well.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I think we should also touch on the power of our strikes this morning, because people watching, they might think, oh yeah, they said they're doing it with power, but they were maybe holding back, but we weren't. Well,
No, we were definitely hitting it.
Yeah, the punches that I was throwing to his ribs, that was as hard as I was comfortable punching without hurting my wrist. If I had gloves and wraps, then sure, maybe I could hit harder, but barehanded, that is as hard as I could punch, and yeah, I could feel it in my hands,
Yeah.
He was rock solid.
And his throat as well, when I was pushing. I mean, I was pushing so hard that my thumbs were almost bending down. So
Yeah, very impressive iron body.
yeah, this trip has been amazing. We dove into the world of Hong Kong cinema, looked at its connection to Kung Fu. We explored the heritage of northern styles that came south, and we learnt about the Hakka people and their rare and unique martial arts. For such a small place, Hong Kong has such a huge variety of martial arts, and we were barely able to scratch the surface. No doubt we will be back again to film more.